I'm Wake, your host for Shaman to Shaman, where we bring you interviews, shaman to shaman, healer to healer, teacher to teacher, with shamanic earth-based healers and teachers from around the world. Today, we've invited Carola Angelica Esparza Calderon to share some of her stories of a shamanic life and to tell about her passions, her practice, and her global service. Carola is a Chilean ceremonialist who has devoted her life to loving service. Hello, Carola. Welcome to today's conversation.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for the invitation to share with you and with the viewers a little bit about what has been my road and what am I doing now and what I believe is good to do in these times.
I'm going to tell the audience a little bit more about you, and then let's continue our sharing. Uh, Carola, you were born in Chile at the foot of the Andes. You're of mixed blood, Mapuche and Chilean. When you were 23, you moved to New York and became a well-known fashion designer, very successful in what you did. After a while, however, you began to hear the mountains calling, and you felt a deep longing to return to your native land. Upon your return, you found yourself in crisis on many levels and had to regain your own presence on the land. Your next calling was to join the Red Road and the Red Thread back to your origins. Over the years, you engaged in vision quest, became a Reiki master, studied the Kabbalah, metaphysics, tarot, and mesotherapy. For 15 years, you've studied with Doña Rosa, a Mapuche grandmother and keeper of the language of the earth. You've learned the sacred art of a prayer woman, and you've traveled the earth, visiting many sacred sites and engaging in numerous ceremonies. And you're now involved with your most heartfelt project to honor the waters and the ancestor territory of the Mapuche Nation. We hope that what Carola shares will resonate with you and impact your life in a meaningful way, and that today's discussion will inspire you to add shamanic sessions and experiences to your life, to find your core calling, and to make action in the world. Shaman to Shaman is brought to you by Shamans Directory, a dynamic online resource for earth-based shamans to share themselves, offer medicine, build community, and change the world. To learn more, you can visit online at shamansdirectory.com, on social media, and on our YouTube channel. Today, I am truly honored to welcome Carola to introduce herself to the Shamans Directory community. Welcome again, Carola.
Thank you again. I feel very touched for the for the presentation because it has not been an easy road. You know, how do you go from one to the other? On my case, the transition wasn't a smooth one, but rather abrupt. It was very abrupt, and to realize that the call for service was so deep, and that I was not the only one. At the same time, I was meeting people who were starting also on the road, feeling the call. So yes, I'm happy to share what it has been and the project that I'm working on now, or that I'm being called to honor the waters, you know, in advance of what progress may do to them, because that is the thing, you know. Uh, yeah, many are aware, but also many are not aware of the importance of the water, the memory of the water, the miraculous gift that we have to drink water, to use water to wash ourselves. Mhm. So I think much is to be discovered yet about water. But meanwhile, we need to protect the water to stay free. It has its course, natural and
Well,
clean.
and Carola, I want to make sure we talk about your practice and how people can work with you and connect with you and receive the benefit of your wisdom and guidance. And since we're talking about water, though, let's begin there. Let's continue this discussion because tell me about water. How did that first come to be a passion to advocate for the clarity and health and vitality of waters?
More than an advocate only for water. I'm being called by this particular water. But because I am a prayer woman, I go where I'm being called. I've been to Kiva because I felt strongly the call. And when I asked the organization Roots of the Earth, I was very much welcome. I accepted it as a gift. I can go and place a prayer also at the Kiva fire, you know. And sometimes I'm asked to have a prayer, yeah, at the dying person bed, you know, to give a prayer or in a ceremony. In this case, it's the water that is calling around where I live, in the territory where I live. And I live here not too long in this territory. And for me, the water has been resonating a lot. I had the incredible honor to meet Dr. Masaru Emoto in France some years ago. And yeah, I was very impressed by his sharing on water, what he had discovered, what he was working on. So, yeah, programmed water could be the science of future, you know, working with the molecule of water in with the frequencies, with sounds. I don't know, it's going somewhere for sure. The science will develop many new ways to integrate what we will call shamanism and science, what we will call science. These two has to merge, you know, and water will be, it has to be a precious, sacred element.
Carola, I wonder if you could tell us about where you live, about your environment, and what land you source from.
Yeah, I live in a small community of almost 20 hectares in between two lakes. These two lakes, the whole area has 7 lakes. But these two lakes are very special because they are fed by a volcano that is called Rucapillán, which means the house of the spirits. Maybe you read the book of Isabel Allende, the house of the spirits. Well, that's the name of this volcano. And it's very sacred for the Mapuche people. It's a ñen, it's a custodian, it's a pillan, it's a guardian of the place. So and I feel the place, and there are many medicines because it used to be land where the healers will arise, the traditional healers. So there are many medicines in the land that grow along the rivers that these matches or healers go out searching for because they see them in dreams. When they find the plants, they know how to use it. But those plants are disappearing. Many of the old matches complain that they cannot find the medicines anymore to treat people, you know, because they disappear. For example, the river in which the event I told you before we're going to have is called Melila Wen, 4 medicines. So I spoke with an old man 2 weeks ago, and he said there used to be stones in that place called likan, and those were magical stones. You will scrap them and with them you make special medicines. But those stones, those lican, you cannot find them anymore. They left, you know, because of the pollution that people are throwing into the rivers unconsciously, you know. So what to do when I am here in Chile, because as you say, I travel a lot. I go to different places, I do ceremonies, I do guiding for tours to different places, powerful places, to honor, you know, to bring crystals, to different calls. And so, but when I'm in Chile, I'm very, I like to be busy with all my heart. How can I also help the community where I live at now? How I dedicate also in here.
Can you tell us, Carola, about something about the Mapuche culture of the people? Of what are some aspects of the traditions from which you come?
Yeah, for me, as I told you, my ancestors were Mapuche for sure, because I have Mapuche blood on me. Yes, but I don't have the last names, and I did not grow up on a loft, which will be a community. But basically, now that I'm very busy recovering those roots, basically the Mapuche people are the people of the earth. Mapu means earth, and Che is people. So Mapuche are the people of the earth, and the Mapudungun is the language of the earth. Yes, and their knowledge, their counts, their memory, uh, according to now to science, goes back 16,000 years. And they have never written. They were all oral. So the stories that they tell are very interesting. For example, about the big flood that happened 12,000 years ago, more or less, according to their count. And how they came to learn to live in peace with nature, to follow the rhythm of the stars, of spring, of the different directions of the wind, of the songs of the birds, of the sound of the earth when it trembles,
Mhm.
you know. So the Mapuche is very close to the earth and to everything that is alive, the ecofilm again, all the biodiversity that is in it, and the capacity to connect lovingly with all what it there is.
And even to learn more, Carola, you've been an apprentice or been in deep sacred relationship with your teacher, Doña Rosa. Could you speak something about that relationship and what that means to you to be so close?
Well, for that part, I have to refer to the part that I call magic. That is one of the parts that I really like. But I happened to meet Doña Rosa Buenufil, custodian of the Mapudungun, and a Yeyipufe, a prayer woman, through an acquaintance. And when she saw me in a ceremony, in a Mapuche ceremony, we were invited as white people to come and celebrate with them an association. This very short lady, old lady, came to me, look at my earrings, and she said, I want to exchange earrings with you. Do you like mine? And I thought she was quite interesting. Shorter than me, and that is already very short. And she was asking to exchange earrings, but she wanted to do it on the fire, in front of the fire. So I said, okay, we did. We exchanged earrings in front of the fire. And she looked at me and she said, from now on, we are Trafkin. I say, what is that? She said, we are not sisters, just like Lamian. We call each other Lamian, sister to everyone. Yes. And she said, we are not like that anymore. Now we are a relation by exchange in front of the fire.
Mm.
So now we are talking. And when you are sick, I will feel you. And when I am sick, you will feel me. That's how we're gonna grow our relation like this. I thought that was funny. I thought, but then she asked me my telephone number, and it has been 24 years since. And it has been like she told. And we've been together to many ceremonies. She invited me. Not easy, because for the Mapuche people, it's not easy to invite the white people. They see in me in white, but for the white people in my country, they see in me an Indian. So I am the in-between, because I am mixed. I am a mestizo. So, but beyond that, I am a che. I am a person
Mm.
on earth. And so with Doña Rosa, I got to go to many different meetings, ceremonies, help her in some ceremonies that she performed. She's not a machi, she's not a healer, but she's a yejipufa, she's a prayer woman. It means she has the capacity to open the space and to speak to the spirits, and the spirits listen to her prayers, because she speaks the language from the heart, but also the language of the Mapudungun. Yes. When she prays, I swear I can feel the earth trembling.
Hmm. Well, and you yourself, Carola, have become a prayer woman. Are you live this life?
Yes, yes. I have a, you say I learned, but in our tradition, in the shamanic tradition, as I understand, you don't go to classes, you know, one weekend a year, and then, you know, or it's not like that. It's you walk next to the person, and you understand how she does and what is her gift, and how she brings her gift to the community. You know, you learn by walking next to the person and honoring her role, you know, and seeing her perform her ceremonies, and how she give herself for the prayer, so she can be the channel, you know, that sometimes people wants to pray and they don't know how, and they are standing around you and they don't know how to put a prayer, and you just say the prayers that come, and after the ceremonies they come and they say, oh, you pray exactly what I needed to hear. You pray exactly what I was praying for, and I didn't have the strength. So more and more you learn that you are giving the space to pray, not for you. You know, you learn. I have learned that when you are giving the space in front of a sacred fire, like for example the Kiva fire, a huge fire that has traveled the world. You know, many people has prayed on these fires. They're very powerful. So when you pray on these fires, is the opportunity for you to pray for all your community, for my children, for everybody's children, for your grandchildren, my grandchildren, for the waters, my water in this territory. But I pray for all the waters in all the territories. I pray for the earth, not only this half a square that is mine, you know, but I pray for all our earth, that we may
Hmm.
live in peace, that we may incarnate this paradise once again.
If you were to show someone how to be more prayerful in their life, how would you begin that process?
Yeah, what is a prayer? Prayer is what comes from from deep within, when it's something that it does not come from your mind. It's not a speech that you prepare the day before. What am I going to talk about? And you make a point, and you say, oh, I have to go over all these points. That is not it. A prayer is something that when it comes your turn, your time, your space, that you need to go and sit under a tree, that you go and need to sit in your room in the quietness, and that you can express from your heart what is your prayer, and that you listen also, because we learn a lot about ourselves by learning to listen to what we say. Most time we are busy listening to the others, but it's also necessary to pay attention to what we speak. So when I take the space to be quiet and to let it come from my heart, I can listen to myself also. And I can ask what I need, or I can speak what I need to Great Spirit, Great Mystery. That for me is a prayer. And once you learn a little bit of this space, then you see that gratitude is a part of prayer also. Very important. You know, people ask, give me, give me, give me. But actually, give me start with gratitude. First, you give thanks. And then you realize your list of give me might be very small, because you start to give thanks for the sun, for the table, for the water. There is food in my refrigerator. My children are in good health. My grandchildren are in good health. My friends around are in good health. There is something to eat. I will share my table with a friend. Thank you, God, for my friends, for table, for food. There is water to drink. Then you realize you have everything. You start to feel in abundance. And then from that abundance that you feel in yourself, you can start to pray for other people may feel the same. May everyone on earth feel abundant and happy and in peace. May every children on earth be in abundance of everything it needs to grow a happy childhood. Yeah, a prayer person, you need to listen and to pray for yourself, especially in the forest, because the forest, the nature, the lake, is part of integrating into the rhythm of life. Then you understand more what is it that we really need. Sometimes we are like a fishes on an ocean asking for water. Where is water? Yeah, uh, we create with our words. We create with our words. So when we speak, we need to listen. Sometimes I'm going to give you a small example. A couple wanted to have a child. And when I asked the man to tell me how he felt, he said, I know this is like a hitting a lotto to have a child. And I say, really? Is that your intimate conception of reality? So for you to have a child is to hit a lotto. It's not something normal, not something that will come for sure. You, so we speak, we have a mind that is also talking, but we have a heart. And when we connect, that is a prayer. That is a life-giving energy. Words have life-giving energy. Or not. Some people. Black magic.
Carola, what do you feel about community? The importance of community where you live, the importance of community in the wider sense, in the region, across the world. You're a traveler, as you say. Um, what is your offering about community and the importance of knowing people, supporting people?
Oh, I believe to make the transition that we need to make, for sure, we will experience it first in a community setting. I see it where I live. We are not friends or community, but we need to take some decisions together as a community because we have a well where we take our water. We need to take care of it. So there are some decisions to make. There are some taking care to make, how we reforest, and we need to talk and communicate, And I see, for example, sometimes not everybody goes out of the campo where we live because we live 15 kilometers away from the next town. So you have to go with a car, yes? And the first 2 kilometers is all, how you say, dirt road, yes? So you can walk out those 2 kilometers to take a bus, but otherwise you go with the car. So if somebody goes, hey, you're going to the city, can I get this and this and this? And then only one car goes and brings things for 3 or 4 houses. We do exchange. For example, I am very good at making a marmalade. So I have all kind of marmalades of fruit that I pick up here. And then we exchange for that. Oh, I have chickpeas. I bought a sack of chickpeas, and we exchange. Yeah, it works organically. It works. So I believe that in order to reduce consumerism, consumism, how much we consume in many things, clothing, food that is being thrown away in the supermarkets and things like this. And the quality of food that we eat. I'm learning to have a little vegetable garden, preparing the land. The friends that live here, they have beautiful gardens where they can eat from it every day, and chickens and, eggs. And yeah, so I see community as definitely a way to go. And I have seen it. I have learned about experiences like a Rauhort in Amsterdam, like Ecoloni in France, Feinhorn yes, somewhere in there. So I hear people talk experiences, and I see that it works. Yeah, I see that it works. Not easy, eh?
Do people know you as a prayer woman? How would people describe you in your community?
I have two communities. One is the community that I have built global wise because I travel now for many years. Another is the community that I have here in the. So the people here around me, they know that I have a strength, that I have been called to this territory, that I know that I was called to come and live in this territory, and they support me. I support them back, and they see me as a person who has a message to bring, as a world bridger, someone who bridges world, because also people come to visit me here in Chile, and I take them around and they meet my friends, and I build bridges between them. So, and the community here knows that I do, for example, my tarot and my cleansings, and I go to pray to the lakes a lot. People know that I do a strict road, in the sense to continually work with the elements.
And your global community. So you mentioned that first. Tell us more about your global community.
Yeah, the global community is because for now, 14 years, since 2010, I have traveled different places in different adventures to different festivals and pursuing different, yeah, how can I call it? Magic steps. I went to Okinawa, to Japan, following the steps of dragons, because I received a song all of a sudden that spoke about dragons. So I decided to find out why dragons. In my archetypes, there are no dragons. There are llamas, fox, guanacos, puma, condor, but no dragons. So I traveled to Europe asking people about dragons. I ended up in Okinawa, where I learned that Okinawa used to be called Ryukyu. And Ryukyu means the kingdom of the dragons.
Mm.
I didn't know, but I went into this magic adventure following this thread of the dragons to learn more about the dragons. I don't have a total answer. I'm writing a book about this journey to Okinawa, to the dragon, and what I found out about the dragon, what they meant, and why in Okinawa, and what was this journey about. Yeah. So I live in a very magical way, following the calls of people, of spirits that needs to be helped, pray to, honor to, work with. Yeah, I travel the world, and I'm known as a good healer. My sessions are to channel for people what is needed to really, but I have many tools. I have told you, I help myself with the tarot. I help with the massage. I do cleansing with feathers, and yeah, different techniques to work that I have learned over the year. I'm a Reiki master, so I work with water. I work with groups in the travel. So and Chile is a refuge. Chile is the recharging space. I don't look for much work, not in my global community. I believe that what is good for me, if I can help somebody, I pray, please put me in their road. So I live a very quiet, and then I'm called to do something, and then I go. Yeah.
Carola, if someone wanted to get to know you, if someone wanted your support in their life, how might they go about that virtually? Do you accept online relationships like that?
I just started because this is new for me to be online, and especially because I work with the spirits. So I was wondering if it was possible to feel the spirits online, and people tell me yes, it's possible. Trust on that. So lately I set up a PayPal account so people can yeah, pay, exchange for my services. They can connect via WhatsApp, via my email, and then I do one-on-one sessions. And when it's necessary or there is a group, I can travel also.
So tell us about a session for someone to contact you. What does there need to be a question, a problem? How would someone know it's a good time to reach out to you?
Yeah. I hope never they have to to contact me, because I hope they are very good. But if there is something heavy in their life, if there is need for clarity, need for energetic help. Sometimes we see different kind of illness. In the Mapuche tradition, as I have learned from Doña Rosa, you can have different illness, mental, physical, emotional, but also you can have illness that sometimes you acquire by not being respectful to a powerful place. That can cause also illness. We consider that as part of reality, that you may have crossed borders with an entity, with a keeper, a sacred keeper of land, of water, of a fire, and then, yeah, you may get sick. Yes. So in that case, yeah, I try my best to help. So if you feel like you need help physically, mentally, emotionally, or in a more subtle layers.
I believe with all your experience, all your modes of engagement, that you would be not only a comforting but an inspiring presence in someone's life.
I do groups to connect them with nature, because people ask me, how do you do it? How do you do it? I say, okay, let's spend time together. Come, I receive people here in my land, small groups, or let's do a travel. Let's go to Machu Picchu, let's go to Titicaca Lake and do a how you say, like initiatic travel, you know, and then you can see how I go with the flow, how the people are drawn, how I encounter the people that I can help on the way, how I'm being helped on the way.
Hmm.
It's difficult to explain, as I say. You have to work with the person.
Yeah, to sit with you, to walk with you, certainly would change lives.
Yeah, people say, yeah, for example, we live in this very touristic area, but I go to the lake at 6 o'clock, and then other things happen. Yeah, of course, we can go at 4 o'clock and you can swim, and it's gonna be packed with people and whole movements and things. But if we go at 5 o'clock and we wait there with a small candle, with a small altar for dawn to arise, then we are talking something different. Little things like this. If you walk up the volcano, because we live next to the volcano, if you walk in silence, if you go wow, 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 one thing. But if we go and we say we're not going to speak one word, we're just going to go up, feeling, listening to the birds, to the sound of the river. It's a different experience.
Carola, in your Shamans Directory profile, you speak about coming back to the red thread and the red road. Are those the same? Could you describe this?
Yeah, the Red Road has to do with the NAC, Native American Church, also. And the Red Road is, as I understand, different associations are together on the Red Road, and it's the way of the native people. That is the Red Road, and specifically, the Red Road started in the United States, Canada. It comes from those places, Mexico, before there were borders, of course, because before there was Canada or United States or Mexico. So this red road has to do with different rites of passage that were done with the Native Americans.
And what about the red thread? Does that describe the same?
The red thread describes the same, because if you start to pull the red thread, you will find out that at one point you are indigenous too. 10 generations, 20 generations, you were indigenous to this earth. Some science say that we all come from one black woman in Africa. So we are all related, start at some point. And this red thread it joins all of us.
Hmm.
We are all together, related by blood. There are no blue blood. You don't see any people with blue blood or green, or we all have the same color, is red.
Hmm. And I'm most intrigued by the language, the Mapuche language, being the language of the earth. Tell us about this.
Yeah, the Mapudungun, which is called the nation's language, is one of the language that can be traced to very old origins. Yes, because they still keep the guttural sound like before there were vocals. Nye, so ng. So in that sense, the language try to imitate what is so in nature. So it's a very old language that I think is onomatopoeic, is the word. So it has a special resonance. This is also very important to know, because you see the resonance is different in this area that it is in Europe. It is a different frequency, a different resonance, for sure, for
Hmm.
sure, because for many reasons. For many reasons, the pole, the south and north pole are pulling in different directions, magnetic poles. The sun, it is in this position in regarding to the equatorial line. So the amount of light and thermoluminic energy on the south as in the north is quite different than in the equatorial line. So we receive different impact, for sure. So frequencies are different. The Mapudungun is the resonance of this territory,
Hmm.
but it's also the resonance of the earth, globally, of the earth, of the water, of the wind, of the earth. It's the resonance of the earth. So it's very important not to lose these languages, to revitalize them, because when there is no more Mapudungun, who will talk to the wind?
Hmm.
Who will talk to the water? Doña Rosa told me that when she was a child, they had to cross a strait. And when they were in the small boat with her grandfather, Doña Rosa is now 85 years old, so 80 years ago, she said her grandfather stood up in the middle of the storm and started to talk to the waters to let them pass. She said they were all crying on the boat. And her grandfather got up and spoke to the water. And then the water became soft, soft. And the men started to paddle, to bow until they reached and then the water started to go again. I believe her.
Hmm.
I believe her so. That is the relation of the Mapuche people with nature.
It feels like you're encouraging all of us to be more in relationship to where we live and the natural world that we're a part of.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because you see, what I have seen in these past 10 years or 14 years, I have seen a lot of people coming to South America. And after 2 weeks, they become Inca shamans, they become things like this. But every territory has a frequency. It's nice to learn, to integrate, but you never forget your own roots, because there are Europe has roots. United States, Canada, every territory has roots, has spirits, guardians, has a language, a resonance, a wind that is predominant. I've been in Belgium and I asked the people, please tell me what is the name of the wind?
Mm.
And they say, why? We don't have a name. I say, please, because I want to honor. It's so strong. I feel it's such a strong spirit in Netherlands also. When the wind blows, it's like, oh, who is that spirit? I want to honor, but nobody has ever told me. They don't know. What is the name of the wind when I want to address?
Mm.
How should I address in respect? So I think it's good to learn, but it's also good to integrate with what you bring, your own roots. Don't forget your own roots, your own sounds.
Mm.
I pick up a song in France, in a chateau in France, called Lot Lorient. And I pick up a song from the water there. And the song was la 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 dee la 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 dee la 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 la. And somebody listened to me and said, that song belongs to France, without knowing that I had picked it up in France. And I say, why you say that? Because the melody is an
Mm.
old romantic melody. That song, I'm sure, belongs to France.
Mm. Would you be willing to share a song from your land?
In the Mapudungun,
Yes.
it will have to be with my drum. Give me a moment. One moment.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see. You see this? It's called a kultrun in the Mapuche language. And it's quite different than the drums you may have seen, because it's half a bowl. It's a bowl. It's not flat.
Mm.
And we use them with cascarilla.
Whoa, how beautiful. Gorgeous.
Kawayo, 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 kawayo. Kawayo, 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 kawayo.
Mm.
I don't know if it's possible. If not, we record it again. You let me know, and we do a separate recording for the drumming. Kawayo, 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 kawayo. Kawayo, 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 kawayo. Kawayo, 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 kawayo. Kawayo, 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 kawayo. This is a song by Beatriz Pichimalen, and it's a song for the horse energy. And it is a very simple, but at the same time, a very powerful call on the energy of the horse.
You're so generous in all you are and all you do. And Carola, it's just a true joy to be in your presence, to get a sense of what moves you, and to know that you're a global energy giver, energy person. And we're all part of the same circle. And we're happy to be having you as part of Shamans Directory. It's so important that people from different parts of the earth who are following their passions and doing their work come together. And I so appreciate that.
I feel the same. I feel for me to have met you and to have met Shamans Directory has been very special because, as you say, it is important to know that we are not alone, that there are many of us, workers of light, working, giving our time, giving our hearts, our prayers, our jogs, our joy of vivre, and sharing knowledge, sharing our traditions, and being together as one.
So beautiful. Before we close, then, Carola, is there anything else you'd like to offer? It's been such a pleasure being with you today.
If you need me, you can contact me. I'm here. I'm available. I do my best with all my tools. If you think I'm good for you and I can help, and I think the same, I feel the same, then our path will connect and I will be able to give out.
Perfect. Thank you so much. To all those who are watching, thank you for joining us for our Shaman to Shaman interview. This is the way we get to know each other. This is the way we build shamanic community across the world. And we thank you, Carola, for your heartfelt expression, for your work in the world, for your willingness to connect, and your passion with the waters, your passion for helping, your passion for being a prayer woman, and going where you're needed is inspiring to all. If you'd like to learn more about Carola Calderon, please visit us at shamansdirectory.com. Look for Carola's profile. You can also learn there about many other exciting healers and teachers through the directory. Our YouTube channel will guide you to these interviews, replays of live events, and selected presentations from our Cosmic Fire Summit. One last time, Carola, thank you.
Thank you very much. And thank you everyone who is watching. Thank you.
And until next time, this is Wake. We'll see you around the fire. Thank you.